Hi there, it's Nancy Damiano for Studio Calico. Today we're going to take a closer look at the Starlight kit. We're going to make a super simple page with a lot of graphic punch. I started out with a photo of my family and I in front of the castle at Disneyland, and that was inspired by the colors in this pattern paper here. I think they're so fun and bright colors, and it just reminds me of that sort of Disney look. So I'm taking a bunch of the different pattern papers from the Starlight kit and punching them with a 2-inch and 1.5-inch circle. So I want sort of an explosion of circles and text, and that was my idea. So I just took a few of the patterns and scattered them around the page, and we'll see how that works out. Next, these cards, they're really cool 4x4 cards, really intended to make a mini album, and these were from the Starlight add-on, and I'm going to use them like pattern paper because I really wanted punches of yellow. That was sort of my favorite of the colors here, and I wanted to create a visual triangle. So we have yellow at the bottom under the photo, yellow at the top, and yellow on the right hand corner. Next, I'm going to add some stamping right under those circles just to make them stand out and give me little subtitles. And I'm going to use the stamp that was available this month, and it had a lot of really cool sayings like everyday magic and everyday I'm sparkling. And I'm going to stamp them directly onto my background. Now, if there's one tip I can give you as far as stamping in my scrapbooks, is that I tend to stamp first, glue second. So you're going to see me, instead of struggling to place them just right under those circles, I'm going to do the stamping first, and then I'm going to do the gluing, because it's a heck of a lot easier to center that patterned circle than it is the stamping. I'm just not that great at stamping yet. I'm still learning, so that's one of the tips that I've come up with. Now next, I'd like to work with the shape. So in order to emphasize the circular theme that I have going, I'm going to wrap my title right around that circle tightly. The title is Disney California, and I used 2 different colors just to make it stand out. And then I knew it wasn't going to go all the way around the circle. You can do that with the date, but it didn't. I needed something extra, so you saw that I used the dots from the eyes in order to extend that design around the circle just a little bit more. Let's just add something a little interesting. I'm going to take another stamp, and I need a place to ground my words. My printer is out of commission right now, so I need to handwrite. I'm a big believer in use what you have. Right now I have no printer. I'm going to use my hand. I'm going to do the printing by hand, and I needed a place to ground it, because I'm not that great at keeping things square. I added a few more circle punches. I needed a little bit more pops of color, and I also added some words to the bottom there. You see how we had 3 at the top, 3 little stamped subtitles, and I needed a little more black, a little more weight. So I'm adding a few more lines of text to those circles. So, and there I am, stamp first, glue second. We're going to add 1 circle that overhangs over the edge of the page, so it doesn't look so boxed in. It lets the design float out. That's what that little tidbit does. And we'll just cut it off, and that adds a little design interest. There I am, adding the words. This is something I rarely do, but I think it's important to put your handwriting in your scrapbooks. Even though it's a tiny square, that's as much as I'm comfortable with right now. Now, I love how this stamp set comes with words that fit inside that little box, and so I used This Is My Favorite in hot pink just to make it stand out from all the writing. And then last but not least, we're going to add a little more movement and texture. That's always my last layer, and we're going to do that with some really simple buttons and scatter them throughout the circles. And the very last touch, a contrasting shape. So rectangles, 2 little stamps, 2 little floating stamps, and that completes the design. Super simple, super colorful, super fun. That's the Starlight kit from Studio Calico this month. Thanks so much for watching and joining me. I will see you next time on the blog.